how to set the board. First வந்து we should know white is always right. அதை ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. உங்க ரைட் ஹேண்ட் இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா? இப்ப என்னோட கர்சர் தெரியுதுங்களா? இந்த ரூக்கோட இடத்துல
தெரியுது.
தெரியுதுங்களா? ஸோ ஒயிட்டோட நம்ம ரைட் ஹேண்ட் சைடு ஒயிட்டா இருக்கணும். நம்ம
ஆமா.
போர்டை இப்படி திருப்பி வச்சுட்டோம்னா இஃப் வி டர்ன் த போர்ட் பை மிஸ்டேக் ஒயிட் வந்து ரைட் சைட் பிளாக் வந்துடும். அது தப்பு. அப்படி வரக்கூடாது.
ஓகே.
சரிங்களா? ஸோ த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பாயிண்ட் இஸ் ஹவு டு வி அரேஞ்ச் இட்.
ஓ.
இப்போ பாருங்க, இந்த இந்த ஸ்கொயர் இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா? இது வந்து ரைட் ஹேண்ட் சைடில் இருக்கணும். அப்பதான் யூ கேன் பிளே செஸ் இன் த வெரி ஃபர்ஸ்ட்
ஓ.
பிளேஸ். போர்டை
ஓ.
தப்பா அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணோம், த என்டையர் கேம் இஸ் ராங்.
White should be
White at the right. So your right hand side
at the
corner
right.
should have
Correct.
white square. And another way, how to arrange the king and queen. Many people make mistakes here. Very easy thing to
First,
remember is the color
first
of the queen. Okay, if
rook.
your queen's color is white,
Rook வந்து லாஸ்ட் ரெண்டு
uh,
எண்ட், both
if
the
your
end.
yeah, if your
And
queen is
ரெண்டு
white in
hearts
color, it
Yeah,
should
next.
be in
they
the
come
light
in
square.
center two blocks.
Yeah, in
Exactly
the center
center two
block, white
blocks.
square.
Bishop.
Usually, what people will do is they will move the king here,
The
and
queen
they will
and king. That is very important.
this is wrong. This mistake
Oh,
everyone does.
okay.
They will say white. I have a white colored, let us say, king
From right
placed on the
side,
light square.
fourth one should be king. இல்லையா?
No, ma'am. E. King
Right
will
side.
always be in E. The
Right
flip
side.
pawn.
King.
Yeah.
Right from right
Remember
side, fourth.
from right side. Okay. Always remember, it
Yeah.
is the
E.
color of the queen which determines the square.
Okay.
So if it is white
E
colored
and D.
queen, it will be in white colored square. See, this square is white in color, right? This is white in
E1,
color.
D1.
This is white in color. This square, the particular square my cursor is on. So white queen will
Okay.
come there. Same
White.
with black. Black queen will be in the black square.
Okay.
All other pieces we are in. I think this much everyone will know.
Okay.
Okay. So these mistakes we should not do. Okay. And then I will come to one more thing called the value of each piece. How valuable is each piece that we
Value.
have? Okay. So first off, let me start with the king. King has infinite value. Without the king, you can't play a game. Without the king, the game is over.
Yeah.
Okay, king illama aada mudiyadu. And then what we have is queen. This is
Queen.
the most valuable piece that we have.
Yeah.
The most valuable, most powerful piece is the queen, and the value is 9. Queen has 9 points to it.
9.
Okay, queen is 9. Without the queen, yes, we can play the game, but without the king, we can't play. And
Yeah.
then we have bishops. We have two bishops, one
Yeah.
in the light squares and the other one in the
The black.
dark squared. Light
Yeah.
squared bishop and dark squared bishop. We
Yeah.
have two bishops. Value is 3. Bishop has
3.
value of 3. Then we have knight. इसको हम horse बोलते थे ना, but we will refer to it as knight.
Knight.
KNIGHT, but
K
while
knight.
writing we write it as N. So
Yeah.
horse has a value or knight has a value of 3. Bishop
3.
also 3, knight also value of 3.
Both.
Simple. And then we have the rooks. We used to
Elephant,
call it
what you say?
elephant,
Rook.
hathi,
Elephant.
yanai, anything. But we will call it as rook. Rook is the proper terminology and it
Yeah.
has value of 5.
5. Okay.
So if
3.
let us assume, I don't have this knight with me. Let us assume I don't have this knight. I don't have this bishop. I don't have this. I don't have this. I have
Oh.
only the queen. Let us assume, just an assumption.
Oh.
Okay. And let us assume this person doesn't have the queen.
Oh.
Okay. I'll show you how it is. He doesn't have the queen, but he has two rooks.
Two rooks.
So who do you think can win? 5 plus 5 is 10, which is more than the queen.
More than queen.
So in this case, I'm just broadly speaking, black has more power.
No.
Even though we have queen,
Queen.
two rooks can more than offset a queen. Two rooks is queen ever powerful. And
Okay.
one more thing, in the pawn irukilya, all these small pawns, they are all they all have a value of one
Yeah.
each.
1. First
And
move can be 2 squares.
in the first move, two or one, you can choose
Yeah.
both.
2
But
or 1.
after that, it
Yeah.
is always one.
Always 1.
In
First
the
one.
beginning, in the beginning, you have a choice, either two squares
Squares
or
are
one
1.
square, your wish.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is how it starts. And one more, very, very important, called castling. I will teach you what castling is about.
For all the pawns like that,
எல்லா
only
பானுமே
first
மேம்.
move.
Yes, all the pawns same value.
First move can be
2. First move எல்லா பானுமே can be 2 or 1.
two or one.
2 or
Okay.
1. After that it is 1 only always.
Afterwards, one only.
Okay, now we are seeing something called castling. Castling is very important in chess, and I'll explain both types of castling. ரெண்டு type of castling நான் explain பண்றேன். First வந்து we have one rule. The first rule is the king should not have moved. Never
Ah,
should It should not have moved at all, and
uh,
the rook should not have moved at all. Okay, so the king and the rook should not have moved even once. That is rule number one.
okay.
Okay, and rule number two is in between them there should be nothing. If you remember, we had a bishop here, and we also had a knight here.
Yeah.
There should be nothing in between. Only then I can castle. So it should be vacant. First
Oh,
rule. Okay. King should not have moved. Rook should not have moved. Second rule, nothing in between. Okay. And we have one more rule. The king should not be under attack. For instance, let us say
it should be
the
safe.
king is under check.
Uh,
Now I can't do castling.
hmm.
King should never be under attack to do castling. Now there is one more thing. Let us assume king is not under check. I'll remove this. There is a rook here.
Okay.
I'll tell you how exactly castling works, then I'll show you this rook move. The king will come 2 steps to the right, rook will move 2 steps to the right. This is castling.
Oh. How can it
This is
move
castling.
two steps? King can move only one step. No?
Yes, but castling is allowed. When you castle, this is allowed, and this is considered to be one move.
Oh.
Castling is one move. Now
Oh.
black will play. After castling, black will play.
Oh.
I'll again do it. King will always move 2 steps. King moves to g square. H rook will move to f square. This is castling, and my move is over now. That's
Oh.
it. But I told you about the king should not be under attack. Correct. Let us
Correct.
assume there is a rook over here. Let us say it's here. Can I do castling now? No, I can't.
No.
Because this rook is controlling this square. When the king goes here, the rook can attack it.
You
So now
can't.
I'm not allowed to do. If the rook is here, can I castle? Let us assume. The rook is here. Can I castle? No, I
No.
can't castle because the king is under check. Let us assume.
Yeah.
I move, sorry. And then let us say the king has to move. The king moves away to some other square. Let us say the
Yeah.
king moves here.
It should be go to.
Okay. And then the bishop goes away somewhere. I come back. Now can I castle? No, I can't.
No. No.
I have moved the king already. The king moved once. And then it came back here. So castling is not allowed now. That is, we should not have even moved it even to one square. That is the first rule. And what we now saw is short castle.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, na? If you see the squares in between the king and the rook are two, this side three. So this side will be long castle, this side will be short castle.
Okay.
Now we'll go to long
Should
castle.
not be under attack.
Same rules apply. King should not have moved. This king should not have moved. This rook should not have moved.
You.
Every other rule remains the same, but only one thing will change. The king will move 2 steps to the left.
Two
Let us
steps.
see how that happens. King will move here. And where will the rook move? 3 steps. It will come here. Okay. I will just for example's sake, I'll show you. In short castle, it was like this. In short castle, for example's sake, I'm showing you. The king moved two. I'll just show you for an example's sake. King moved 2 steps. Rook also moved 2 steps. But for long castle, king will move 2 steps. That remains the same. Rook will move three. One, two, three.
Oh.
I've taken two kings just for example's sake so that you understand both sides. Okay. Every other rule
Oh.
remains the same. The king should not be under attack. The square he is traveling to should not be attacked by anybody else. So this is a
Okay.
very important part of chess. Preferably, if you are playing with anybody, castle within the first 7 moves. முதல் 7 moveக்குள்ள
Oh.
castle பண்ணா நீங்க ரொம்ப safe. You are very
Oh.
safe because when the king goes to the corner, see, I'll tell you one thing. The main reason being that usually the center will be open. The king will be in the center. He can be attacked from all sides. If the king goes to one corner, from this side, from the right hand side, nobody can attack him. So you're moving him
If
to
there
a
is
safe place.
nothing. And no bishop, no queen at all. That time only we have to castle, huh?
Correct, ma'am. Correct. That
Okay.
time only you have to castle. I'll give
Okay.
you a tip also, ma'am. Now I'll give you a nice tip. Let us
Okay.
assume I have a rook here. This is how the position is. Let us assume. Now I
You
have to castle.
bring it out.
Yeah. And let us say somebody says, let us do short castle. இது பண்ணலாம். We can do this. Is it allowed? Yes, it is allowed. Technically, it is allowed. But I
Okay.
would prefer do it on the other side. Why? Because this is open. See, king at the front
Open.
is so
That side
open.
pawns are there.
So better move the king to a safer
Better
place
that side.
with pawns in front.
Okay.
So in such a scenario, I would say do it on this
That
side.
left side. Oh,
On
open
this
side you should not do.
open side, king always your opponent will try to open your king side. They'll try to open it.
Protection should be there for king.
Protection should be there. So this is yes, sir. Pradeep Kumar, sir.
Yeah, suppose if on the left side also if pawns are not there, then what is the
Ah,
option? Suppose they have moved ahead.
uh-huh. Yes. Yeah. Good. Very good question, sir. Very good question. I'll come to that. Always, sir, pawns can move only forward. They can't move back. So we should be very careful when we move a pawn because we know this can't come back. Hamesha, I would say always keep it as a rule. You're going to castle within the first 7 moves. Okay. So castle it and try not to move these pawns without any reason.
Okay.
Usually what we do is we castle and then move this pawn here. I'll tell you why we move it. Okay. I'll go back to the board. I will just arrange it and then I'll show you a normal game, any normal game so that you understand better. I'll play for both the sides and then I'll show you. Some moves, why do we do it the way we do it? Then you will understand better. And castling also applies to black. Same rules. Everything remains the same. Something else to tell you also before I go ahead. There are four squares which are very important for chess. If you want to win a game, these four squares we should know. 4 ஸ்கொயர் நம்மளுக்கு தெரியணும். அது
Ah.
என்னன்னா e4. I'm just moving the pawns so that you identify the squares.
Next place should
e5
be.
and
Oh.
then these squares. See e4, e5, d4, d5. These four squares are they are the center of the board. If you capture the center or control the center, you can win the game.
Oh.
இந்த ஸ்கொயர் எப்போதுமே இந்த 4 ஸ்கொயர் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஆல் செஸ் கேம்ஸ் இந்த 4 ஸ்கொயர்ஸ்க்காக தான் ஃபைட் பண்ணுவாங்க.
Okay.
எல்லாருமே நீங்க எந்த கேம் வேணா பாருங்களேன். முக்காவாசி கேம்ஸ் த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் மூவ் வில் பி திஸ் மூவ்.
Will be.
எஸ். பை டூயிங் திஸ் இவங்க என்ன செய்றாங்கன்னா, கர்சர் தெரியுதுங்களா? மவுஸ் தெரியுதுங்களா?
That
இந்த
is.
இந்த ஸ்கொயரை கண்ட்ரோல்
Suppose
பண்றாங்க.
they bring it now, we can
ஆ
take the pawn now.
So இந்த pawn is controlling two squares. This one and it
Okay.
is controlling this one.
Yeah. If
ஆமா. சொல்லுங்க மேம். ஏதோ சொல்லிட்டு
okay,
இருந்தீங்க.
if the black comes and white here.
இங்கயா?
Nah, next one.
பக்கத்துல. ஆமா. இங்க.
Next one comes now, we can take that. No, the white can
எஸ்.
take that.
இல்ல இது வந்து கேம்பிட்ன்னு ஆகும் மேம். எப்போதுமே
Ah,
செஸ்ல வந்து சில ரூல்ஸ் இருக்கு.
we should not keep like that.
இல்ல
Direct.
பண்ணலாம். We can do. But I'll tell you one thing. செஸ்ல வந்து it is all about development of piece. பிகினிங்ல கேப்சர் பண்றத
We have
அவாய்ட்
to
பண்ணுங்க.
protect our things. Yeah.
This is gambit. If you capture, it is called gambit accepted. If you don't capture, it is called gambit decline. But
Yeah.
in chess, when all your other pieces have not moved, don't go for a capture. Don't go for attack.
Attack.
You should always only prefer development. Development means I'll show you an example. My knight
We
is
should not
outside.
give it.
My
Mm.
bishop is out. Let us say my bishop is somewhere. My
Okay.
this bishop is here. My knight is out. I have castled. Now you can capture.
Ah,
Avoid capture in the initial phase of the game.
okay.
That is done only by people who have just started playing. They will immediately capture. By capturing, what happens? I'll tell you why it is not advisable. Okay, ma'am.
Not address.
There is
Correct.
something called pawn structure. Pawns are very strong if they are side by side. Next
Okay.
to it, these are all. It's a good structure. What
Yeah.
is a bad structure is this is a bad structure. One in front of another. That is why. That is why. Let us say you had a pawn here. This pawn came here. Okay, let's assume this pawn came. When I capture it, if you see I have two pawns, one pawn here, one pawn here. My pawn structure is bad. I have broken the pawn structure. It is easier for the enemy to come in.
சார் இது
அதுக்காக
இது
தான் நம்ம பண்ண மாட்டோம்.
ராம் சார்
சொல்லுங்க மேம்.
இது எப்பவும் விளையாடுற செஸ் அது வேறயா?
எப்போ விளையாடுற செட் புரியல மேம். என்ன என்ன
இது
கேட்குறீங்க?
இது நான் எப்பவுமே விளையாடுவாங்களா? இது வேற மாதிரி இருக்கே.
இல்ல மேம்.
இல்ல
இதுதான் எப்போதும் ஆடுற
எப்போதும் விளையாடுற மாதிரி தான்.
எப்போதும்
ஆ.
ஆடுற செஸ் தான் இது.
அந்த
அது
காயின்ஸ் எல்லாம் வேற மாதிரி இருக்கும். அதான் பார்த்தேன். கொஞ்சம்
இல்ல மேம்.
இதே
வித்தியாசம்.
மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் மூவ்ஸ் மட்டும் சொல்றாரு.
இல்ல மேம். என்னன்னா ஒவ்வொரு டைம் வந்து அந்த கிங்கோட
பிஷப்
ஷேப்
வந்து
கொஞ்சம் டிஃபரெண்ட்டா இருக்கும்.
அந்த
ஆ.
பிஷப்
குயினோட
தான்
ஷேப்.
டிஃபரெண்டா இருக்கு. பிஷப் ஒன்லி.
ஆ.
அது நம்ம
பிஷப்
வாங்குற செஸ் பீஸ் பொறுத்து இருக்கு மேம். நம்ம வாங்குற போர்டு இருக்கு இல்லீங்களா?
ஓ! சரி, சரி.
ஆமா
நீங்க
பிஷப்
2, 3
மட்டும்
கேம் ஆடுனா
டிஃபரெண்டா
இதாயிடும்.
இருக்கு. பாக்கி
எனக்கு எனக்கு தமிழே அரை அது இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்றீங்க. ஏதோ கவனிச்சு கேட்கிறேன்.
அதான் பிஷப்
ஓ!
மட்டும் தான் டிஃபர் ஆகுது. எல்லாம்
ஓ!
more or less same.
யூசுவலி என்ன ஆகும்னா, நீங்க போய் கடையில ஒரு ஃபுட்பால் வாங்கினா, அது ஒரு கலர்ல இருக்கும். நான்
ஓ!
வாங்கினா ப்ளூ கலர். நீங்க வாங்கினா அது ரெட் கலர்ல இருக்கலாம்.
சரி,
We
சரி.
had
ஆ.
Again,
seen that
it
as
remains the
bishop
same. Like
ஓ!
like
that. So always remember not to spoil the pawn structure. And the pawn ideally should be supported by another pawn.
another part.
See, this pawn is
Correct,
supporting this
correct.
pawn. Then it is a good pawn structure.
Yeah.
Now, I told you something about after castling, I'll do something I told you. Okay. Let us assume, okay, I've moved all this. I'm just assuming. I have moved it here. I have castled. Same way he has a knight here. Let us assume. I told you to move this pawn ahead if you remember once